We're just gonna I'm gonna keep walking away from this tree.
Yeah.
And you
We're
guys
gonna go.
You guys continue walking. What does it take you a moment to realize? Like, actually, we're going this way, and like.
Yeah.
No, I
continue
imagine
past-
we do walk the wrong way from where we wanted to go.
Then walk
just
by
like
him again.
away.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
Yep.
Guys,
Yeah, just
stop
away,
it. I'm
agree.
really
like
sorry.
we end up back in that swamp and probably like stop there. I guess makes sense, right?
That's probably where we want to be anyway.
No, well,
Stay
Well,
as far
not
as we know.
realistically, but yeah.
Well,
Look
on the
around-
positive side, Salbor, it looks like people might be, spirited away to different planes like you hoped.
We don't.
No, they weren't doing that.
We don't want to stay in this area.
I didn't say they were doing it.
It's possible, I suppose. I don't know. Don't you think this is all a little bit too dangerous? We could just get back on the ship.
Yeah, but those people.
We have
We have
information.
to help them.
People are dead. People are
We
very
don't
dead.
know that. We can at least try. They said they hadn't seen any people.
We found the research, did we not?
Yeah. We found bits of research, but it seemed that the direction we were traveling in when we came across this doorway was the correct way to go. So I think we need to continue that way.
If we
You're
continue
right.
on, can we rest for a while?
Yeah, look at Reich. He looks like shit.
I don't wanna-
I'm really
I don't-
sorry about that, by the way.
I don't want to rest here.
Not
I
here.
find it highly unlikely that
Well,
creature
I'm not saying
so,
like
so incessant as he was on his beliefs was simply willing to let us walk away. Something is going on, and I feel as though the jaws of some trap are slowly closing around us.
The trap is far too big a picture for us to even be caught in its jaws. For now, anyway. But I agree. We should trek 2 hours northwest before we set up
Ye-
camp.
I agree. We should trek a little bit before we rest, but we really do need to take a short rest. You do look bad.
Well, you guys could travel for an hour and then rest for an hour.
Mhm.
Yeah,
that's
that's
kind
yeah.
of what everybody's
Yeah.
working on. And so you do that. You travel for an hour. You to satisfy everybody's like concerns, and then you rest for an hour.
Short rest. Yeah.
So
I can do all those cool things the sorcerers can do. on
I'm
a
not
short
sure
rest.
what would be required to do this, but I would like to take special care to try to hide our tracks or distract from where we're going.
Yeah, that's pass without trace. Do you have that spell?
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no, I
well,
don't.
then you do everything that you can to hide the 4 sets of boots slopping through muck of a swamp and all the underbrush that you're probably breaking.
There's some
and
leaves on
snapping
it.
through. So I will tell you, you certainly can try. I will. allow
Hey,
you to-
if you told us we wanted us to go quietly, we could do that thing where we'd take like twice amount of time to go slower and stealth roll.
And I'm saying that you can make yourself a survival check with disadvantage, going the slower and so on and so forth. Because again, you're not walking on hard dirt. You're walking
guess.
through. You're walking through.
I don't really care if Reich tells us to do that.
Yeah,
sure.
I don't really care either.
So
Hey, there you go,
is-
Kieran.
Is that who's taking care of
I'm
it?
decent
Kieran?
at it, yeah.
I thought Kieran was leading the way and Reich was taking care of it from the back.
Stalbor's leading the way. He
Sa-
said we need to go northwest.
Says the angry person that wanted to see you fail. No, you're good.
Shut up.
So
I'm
Kieran
gonna spend
actually,
some hit
what
dice.
happens is the reason why you guys are traveling slower isn't because Kieran's capable of just like covering up all the tracks behind her deftly. Kieran actually says, "Fuck, this is gonna take us out of our way. Fine, Reich, we'll do it the way you want," and actually chooses to go down different paths. So, okay, we could go through here this way fast. That's the way we've been doing up until this point. But instead, we're gonna go through higher ground. That's drier. It doesn't kick up as much. Doesn't leave
Well-
behind as many marks, or there's less tree cover over there for us to be breaking the branches. And on top of that, she can use a combination of her magics and Reich's.
Yeah, I was
To
gonna say
hide
I can use weathercraft to hide it
Yep.
a little bit,
Yep. Of course. So,
making the ground like a little bit soggier, making like plant growth in the way.
because you got the total of a 17, which is like really good. So you did a good job of hiding your tracks. Okay. So you guys continue on for some time, once again trying to find where these people are that you're trying to go towards. Could you do me a favor and everybody roll for me perception checks? Not an hour and short rest later. We're talking like hours later. Same day though.
Huh. Luca's doing good.
Luca C. Luca tell Luca C.
Lucas Cial.
Luca find books.
Luca
So-
find books.
So this is what happens. Reich is walking around and trying to like make sure the tracks are getting kind of covered up or whatever. And as he's doing so, and he's covering up a thing, and he kind of grabs a branch and he like moves it back to how it was because Kieran had like used a little bit of magic to hold it open, and he grabs it and slowly puts it back so the branches don't break and things don't get ruffled too much. As he's doing so, he finds a bit of paper like lodged into the bushes themselves, like way deep on the inside. And so he's like, hey, what's this? And he reaches in and he grabs the parchments and pulls them out. And not only are they research papers, clearly research papers because they're similar to, you know, what you were looking at beforehand or whatever, but they're actually in good condition. Like they're actually like in really good condition because the way that they were caught in the brush
Who
and,
finds
like,
this?
so high up off the ground, Reich actually notices that. Reich, do you bring attention to that to anybody else, or how do you do so?
Yeah, I would point it out as soon as I notice it.
Okay, so he points it out, and as soon as he says that, it almost like makes everybody else remember, oh shit, we're supposed to be doing this more than just everything else that we're doing. And so Kieran looks around and immediately is able to find off to the side a small charm or something. It's hard to tell because it's like caught in the mud, but there's clearly a chain that is coming up off of whatever it is, and that chain is kind of like wrapped around and sitting on top of part of a log. The chain is exposed, clearly metal. The rest of the whatever it is underneath mud. And Stalbor, like kind of seeing Kieran immediately react, like she notices something too. Stalbor looks around for a moment and like steps over and kind of goes off to the side because he has no problem wandering like he often does. And he actually finds a small area that was clearly another camp. You know what I mean?
Cool.
And so
I would point out first that the only reason why there would be straight, clean pages in a bush above the ground is that they put them there because they were being chased or they were being kidnapped, and they wanted to mark it as some kind of clue. It's the only reason it makes sense, other than wind, is that there's no fucking wind. We're in a swamp. I mean, of course, he says that in slightly more Stalbor way. Less swearing.
I'm looking. I just look around and I say, all this seems to point to those men.
Wait, the people we just saw?
No, it doesn't.
No.
You don't believe so?
They
Well,
have
I mean,
nothing to
these
do with
people
this.
were-
We're an hour away from them.
Cannith are a
several
tiny
hours.
Yeah.
Cannith are a tiny speck of insignificance to their plan. They would not waste their effort on them.
Yeah, according to them, we're nothing.
Then
Unless
one-
someone as chaotic as Kieran was coming through here, and I look at Kieran, give like a half laugh, like they're not going to be interested in that.
And they
Like-
wouldn't have cared about Kieran if she was walking these paths. So we'll find more clues in their camp than in your mind, right?
I think we just still need to be wary about that. What'd you call it? Schlaglin Lound or something like that?
I
Shambling
think we
mound.
dealt with the shambling mound. It was just lots of... Yeah.
Okay.
Then let us
I'm going to
go.
investigate the camp.
Okay.
Bust out that investigatory skill.
So you start walking throughout the camp, and the first thing that you notice is you start walking throughout it. So like, you go in there and you immediately start going to check things out. But as you walk into the camp, you stop. You don't even make your way into the camp itself, because you see across the camp, over not too far away from like say where one person's clearly their sitting spot was, is a small tree stump that looks kind of similar to a tree stump that you once stood. Like if anybody else saw this, they probably wouldn't have noticed, but because Stalbor was literally standing next to it when the tree stump started moving and standing up, it's like, oh, that looks familiar. And because of the fact that you saw that one, and like Stalbor is now in like super high alert, he starts looking around, and he can easily make out the total of 3 of them that he can see for where he's standing without even moving. Now, imagine your friends are, because they're like, oh yeah, check out the camp. They finished doing whatever they're doing. They're kind of starting to
Walking
walk
over.
in as well.
Friends, slow down. There's more tree people under the mud.
So at the camp, there's tree people. We need to probably take them out if we want to do further investigating.
And there's no coincidence that this is
No.
entirely related
They were
by
they,
now.
they were yeah, they were at the the past site where we found some papers. Now they're at this site and there's fresh paper. We really need to do something here.
Do you think perhaps these are the remnants of the people we searched for?
Oh,
Almost
they've
without a
been-
doubt.
it's a strong possibility, but
You're muted.
you're muted, Aaron.
Sorry, puppy. I thought you investigated the bodies before, and there was no
They-
correlation.
There was no. The
Definitive.
only thing that we could have had is if they were clearly shifters, and there was no way of knowing one way or another.
They just seem
So-
humanoid
but
and they're having organs. and they
Stalbor's
were-
brain smarts are like, there's no way this happens twice and it's not
Right.
somehow related.
So
Either these things scared them away,
Yeah,
or they are the people, or they ate the people, or blah
Yeah.
blah blah. Blah.
yeah, absolutely.
Right.
But I mean, unless we capture one and take it with us, there's really no way to bring them back if it is them. Unless you want to bring the corpses back, but
I'm planning on bringing the head back.
oh, you took that other head.
Yeah, just like
Mhm.
yeah, the bag.
Then
Yeah.
I'm going to draw my sword and I say, then perhaps we should simply destroy these creatures and search the camp more thoroughly.
I
Unless you
agree.
think
Come out
it'd
of
be-
their misery.
I agree. Maybe this time we take the torso. You know, it's good to get different bits.
I don't have enough bags for that.
I look at
Yeah.
Reich's bag that he's
Oh.
holding.
I look at
Nothing?
you and I
Well,
shake my head.
perhaps these ones will be different somehow. Perhaps they will be related to the shifters in some way.
I say, if we're to do this, since we have the upper hand in knowing that they're here, perhaps we should make a plan.
Yeah.
I was gonna throw
Kieran?
magic at it.
Yeah,
I
I'm
knew
gonna
that
throw
was
some
your
magic at it
intention.
too.
Now, before we just simply throw magic at it, let's
That's
look
fine.
at the. I'm gonna look over the layout of the camp. Here's what I want to do, because these creatures they moved at like normal pace when we fought them last time, right? They
It
weren't
just took
like.
a long time to get out the ground.
All right. So what I would like to do is I would like you guys to stand back since you can all do something at least at the range. I'm gonna go in. I'm going to pull them. I'm gonna pull them close to us, and I can kind of kite them back with my long range. I have all of my what are they called? Key points back, and so I can use my key points to get a free disengage. So I can literally just go up, attack them, disengage, run back 40 feet. They're going to have to double move, essentially, to get up to me. And we can essentially just kite them back farther and farther and do a lot of damage before they get to melee range with us.
Okay.
So
I
I'm
like
gonna
it.
I'm just gonna go back 40 feet. I'm going to pretty much like make a line and just kind of measure for a moment, and I just be like, yeah, I can make that. Here, stand here.
I'm gonna say I like it. Perhaps we should throw stuff at it before you hit it. That way we hit it, you hit it.
The stumps
then
aren't
you run.
necessarily part of their anatomy. We need to bait them out of the ground.
Exactly. That's what my intention was. I will
right.
go bait them out of the ground, and then as soon as you see them stand up, then you unleash on them.
I like it. I'm gonna
So-
keep my sword.
God,
and hold my hand up.
Kieran! Kieran! We just nearly died because of you.
Kieran!
Because
Shit!
Rice
I
was
waited for the
talking.
We did the
No,
plan.
I'm
I'm gonna
minutes.
take
We
Kieran. I'm
didn't beat
done
them
with
out the
this.
ground.
No, I just beat her to death with my
Give her-
sword.
give her like
Ah.
keep your pimp hand strong. Give her a
I
good
mean, if
back.
it was any other character, be like,
well.
"Oh, whoops, I pressed it too early." No, we know what Aaron was doing.
Literally, like we were
I'm
making.
getting it out of the ground. I'll make it
No.
slower.
I just said what the plan was.
There's a
Ground.
Ooh. Hold
We're
on.
taking
As a
her back let's take her back to the tree people. She lives
yeah.
her fucking home.
I'm
So wait,
curious.
are we trying to say? Are we trying to say he was right?
Yes.
Are we saying that?
He's right. We didn't
wasn't
say he
wrong.
was wrong. We just said he couldn't do it.
No one said he was wrong.
I have a
Yeah.
question. So the cantrip shape water. Can I make her ice turn to water?
Wait. Turn ice to water.
I
Does
know
shape
Frost
water
is-
It's up
melt?
to you guys.
If,
Shape
if-
water. I can
Shape
turn
water
water,
can-
to
yeah.
ice.
Ice
Yep.
the water, yeah.
then
With
ice
that-
to
So can I-
water.
I
Okay.
imagine with like
cold.
ice bolt maybe, but this is ray of frost. It's not ice. It's
Yeah,
cold.
no,
I
Yeah.
would need you to
Oh,
roll
I'm
me.
sorry. I thought it was ice knife anyway.
Luca, I would need you to roll me a insight roll on Kieran, but because you know her as well as you do, I always do this with insight rolls to each other. You do have advantage.
All right. Insight roll with advantage. Yeah, I don't know shit, so that's good.
What you
That's
rolled?
not true. She's very blunt. Like she's not trying to hide it or anything.
You
So
rolled
Not trying to hide it.
Marva.
We just engaged in a conversation, and she just fucking casts some magic.
It's
I'm
up
not
to
surprised.
Erin. It's up to Erin as to whether or not you you.
yeah, no, I would say she's not hiding it. She's like, oh, we need to bathe them out of the ground, fine, and she'll.
She's like,
start
oh, that's the
casting
plan?
magic.
Boom.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's your. It sounds like she's saying you know what's going on.
Last time I tried to stop her casting a spell, right died. So not doing that again.
Okay.
Cantrip.
So
I'm not casting the spell being cast.
So you cast a
Stopping it.
spell, and then all I'm gonna.
I mean,
do-
I would have no problem with him interrupting the casting if that's something you wanted to have.
Do the next thing already.
Hold on. Now I'm gonna say what happens. The way it plays out is that you. Sorry, my brain's not working. The way it plays out is you actually make a D20 roll against her D20 roll, and you guys get to both add your primary modifier for spell casting.
So just an int roll for me.
And a charisma for her, I believe, despite the fact that nobody believes she's
Oh,
charismatic.
I Eric'd it.
Oh, that's a beautiful Eric.
I disagree
Erin
with
isn't
that, Scott.
charismatic, but she has a strong personality.
Exactly, it's forced personality, bitch.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm busting balls, of course. So you know. But, okay.
I'm gonna spend an action point.
That's funny. Okay.
I have him to spend, damn it.
Oh,
Jesus.
it's a tie, which
I
means
like it.
either Kieran spends an action point or you both re-roll.
I don't care. No.
Okay, you both re-roll.
Yeah, what's with the way that you rolled that, Aaron? That was
What?
weird.
Okay.
Why are
Okay.
you rolling it that way?
Just rolling.
You're doing
Oh,
one
wait.
d20.
Oh, I guess I could do that. That would make more sense. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
One.
Okay. So this is the way it goes. You throw she throws to cast a spell, and you get to react, but like her magic is like powerful, so you have to kind of like lean into yours and say a couple of extra words into the incantation. So as she throws her like ray of frost, it turns into a stream of water, and she waters the plant.
So how are we gonna bait it out if not that?
Right.
Reich just said
If
he
you
was gonna
literally
fade it
would
out.
just
How we-
listen instead of reacting, as you
Okay.
always do, Kieran, then you
how
would have
we-
heard my
How
plan.
do you try to bait it? How are you gonna bait it out?
I'm going to go walk up. I will then lead that towards us because I am a very quick
Oh.
person.
That makes more sense. Let's have you walk up into melee range with it, where they can spew acid or whatever
It's
at you.
not. You can't see the whole creature. It's under the mud, as we have seen
Exactly.
before.
So we can
the
attack it from a
stump.
distance. Instead of having you run up and run back.
I
Why,
just, like,
why,
from a
why are you
distance
running up and run
won't
back?
work.
under my
To
breath, I
expose
just
it.
whisper. I'm
Maybe
under my
if
breath.
you
I'm
were
just
an-
swearing in Goblin.
No, just do it.
Maybe
just
if you were an
go do it.
earth sorceress.
I don't
Kieran.
care if you run up. The frost would affect it whether it's below the ground or not.
That's not true.
It's possible.
I just
Wait, no,
stopped.
no, it's fine.
It's
Go,
possible.
Go.
go run up. Go run. Go hit it.
I
Go
walked
hit
into
it.
the.
Go hit
I
it with
walked.
your
Have I told you today that I love you, friends?
I walk into the encampment and I'm just gonna make as much like noise as possible. If there's like stuff around, I'm just gonna like knock it over
That's a great plan.
and try to get their
Much better.
attention.
Okay, awesome. And while you're doing that, why don't we just go ahead a smidge early and take our next little break and let the woosah. We'll see you all in just a couple of minutes. Go grab a drink or a pee or whatever you gotta do. Bye.